Imagine this. You're sitting at the dinner table, heart full from the warm meal she just prepared, when your father's voice cuts through the air like ice. She's not family, she's the maid. The woman who held you through every nightmare, who knew your favorite songs, who made this cold mansion feel like home, lowers her eyes and says nothing. But what happens in the days that follow will break your heart, and then put it back together stronger than before. Hey everyone, welcome back to Stories That Heal. If you've ever felt the ache of losing someone who truly saw you, or wondered what real family means, this one's going to hit deep. Stick around till the end because the twist will leave you in tears, and hopefully inspired. If this story moves you even a little, please hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us bring more heartfelt tales like this to you every week. Let's dive in. My name is Elena, and at 22 I thought I had my life figured out. Or at least I pretended I did. Our sprawling house on the outskirts of the city had always felt more like a museum than a home. Polished marble floors, crystal chandeliers, and silence so heavy it pressed on your chest. My mother had passed away when I was 12 after a long battle with illness. In the years that followed, my father, Victor, buried himself in his business empire. He was a self-made man, respected, feared, and emotionally unavailable. Love, for him, was a transaction. And I was learning to live with the emptiness. Then Rosa arrived. She came recommended by a distant relative, quiet, mid-40s, with gentle brown eyes that seemed to carry the weight of 1,000 unspoken stories. Father hired her as our live-in housekeeper and cook. She's the maid, Elena. Don't get attached, he warned me on her first day, barely glancing up from his laptop. But Rosa didn't act like a maid. She noticed when I skipped meals during exam week. She left little notes with my breakfast. You are stronger than yesterday, mija. She remembered how my mother used to braid my hair and learned to do it the same way. On nights when the grief hit me like a wave, she would sit on the edge of my bed, humming old lullabies in Spanish until I fell asleep. For the first time since losing Mom, I felt seen. Years passed. Rosa became my confidant, my cheerleader, my safe place. She taught me how to cook her grandmother's recipes, how to dance when I was heartbroken after my first breakup, and how to stand up for myself even when my voice shook. Father tolerated her presence but never warmed up. He paid her salary on time, spoke to her only in commands, and reminded me whenever I called her, Tia Rosa, that she was just staff. It hurt, but I learned to live between two worlds, the cold one with my father and the warm one with Rosa. Then everything changed one rainy Tuesday. I came home early from university to find my father in the living room, face flushed with anger. Rosa stood near the doorway, clutching a worn suitcase. Pack your things, he snapped at her. You're done here. I'm getting remarried next month, and my fiancé doesn't want complications. His new girlfriend, a much younger woman named Sophia, had apparently complained about the help acting too familiar. I felt the floor tilt beneath me. Dad, you can't be serious. I cried. Rosa is family. She's been here for 10 years. She knows us better than anyone. He looked at me with that familiar steel in his eyes. She's not family, Elena. She's the maid. End of discussion. This house needs order, not sentiment. Rosa didn't argue. She never did. She simply nodded, thanked him for the opportunity, and turned to me with tears shimmering in her eyes. Take care of yourself, mija. I'll be okay. Her voice cracked only once. That night, as she left in the pouring rain, I stood at the window watching the taillights disappear, feeling like I had lost my mother all over again. The following weeks were hell. The house became a tomb again. Sophia moved in quickly, redecorating everything in cold modern tones that erased every trace of warmth Rosa had brought. My father threw himself into wedding plans, but I could see the cracks. His health was declining. He had ignored chest pains for months, calling them stress. One evening, during a heated argument about my refusal to attend the engagement party, he collapsed right there in the hallway, clutching his chest. The ambulance ride was a blur. At the hospital, doctors revealed he had suffered a massive heart attack. His arteries were badly blocked. Emergency surgery was needed, but his blood pressure was unstable. As I sat alone in the waiting room, fear gripping my throat, I realized how truly isolated we had become. Sophia was out of town for a photo shoot. No relatives rushed to our side. It was just me, and a sudden, desperate thought of Rosa. I didn't have her new number. She had left quietly, never wanting to burden us. But I remembered the small town she had mentioned once. Her sister lived there. After hours of frantic calls and messages to mutual acquaintances, I finally reached her late that night. "Rosa, it's Elena. Dad's in the hospital. He might not make it. I know he hurt you, but please, I need you." There was a long silence. Then her voice, steady and full of that same quiet strength. "I'm coming, Mija. I'll be there by morning." She arrived before sunrise, carrying a thermos of her special herbal tea and a bag of clean clothes for me. The nurses were surprised when this humble woman took charge so naturally, organizing my meals, speaking calmly with doctors, holding my hand through the long hours. During the surgery, she told me stories I had never heard. About her own daughter who had passed away young, about leaving her village to find better opportunities, about how caring for me had healed something broken inside her. "Family isn't always blood, Elena," she whispered as we waited. "Sometimes it's the hands that hold you when the world lets go." The surgery was touch and go, but my father survived. When he woke up 2 days later, weak and disoriented, the first person he saw was Rosa adjusting the pillows behind his head. He tried to speak, but she gently shushed him. "Rest, Senor Victor. We're not going anywhere." Recovery was slow and painful, for all of us. Sophia visited once, saw the reality of hospital life and the changed man in the bed, then gradually stopped coming. My father, stripped of his usual armor, finally began to talk. He admitted how terrified he had been since my mother's death. How he had pushed everyone away so he wouldn't feel that pain again. How he had treated Rosa like the help, because acknowledging her importance meant admitting he needed someone. But the deepest moment came one quiet afternoon. Rosa was helping him eat some broth when he suddenly took her hand. Tears, actual tears, rolled down his cheeks. "I was wrong," he said, voice hoarse. "You were never just the maid. You kept this family alive when I couldn't. I'm sorry, Rosa. Please, stay. Not as staff, as family." Rosa cried too. She told him she had forgiven him long ago. That watching me grow had been her greatest joy. And that true family chooses each other every single day. In the months that followed, everything truly transformed. Rosa moved back in, no longer as the maid but as my stepmother in every way that mattered. My father sold part of his company to reduce stress and started taking walks with us in the garden. We cooked together, laughed together, and slowly rebuilt what had been broken. I graduated university with both of them in the front row, my father clapping proudly and Rosa blowing kisses like the proudest mother alive. Looking back, that cruel sentence my father once spoke became the turning point. It forced us to confront what family really means. Not the name on a birth certificate or the money in a bank account, but the quiet devotion, the sacrifices made without expectation, and the love that shows up even when it hurts. If you're watching this and you have someone in your life who feels like just a friend, just a caregiver, or just anyone who shows up consistently, tell them they matter. Cherish the found family, forgive where you can, and never underestimate the power of a second chance. Thank you for staying with this story till the end. It means the world. If it touched your heart, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more emotional journeys that remind us what it means to be human. Drop a comment. Who has been your Rosa? I read every single one. Until next time, hold your people close. You never know when everything might change.